everyone, it's the end of November, so that means it's time for my favorites of the month. And the first item is something that I didn't really expect to fall in love with. I gave it a good review on this channel. I liked how it worked out for me, but it was a product that I wasn't expecting to continue using after that review, only because I've got other things that I could use up before using a brand new product through to the end. And that is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Liquid Foundation. And I don't know what it is, if it's just the way that this works out on my skin or if it's the fact that it's a perfect color tone for me right now, but I have used this, I think, every single day since I posted that review about this foundation. I have the shade Neutral 2 and I think it's working out really well for me. I'm wearing it right now. I've been wearing it since 7:30 a.m. this morning and I think it's something like 5:30 right now p.m. and it looks great. And it's been looking great for the last month, so I am so pleased with how this has worked out for me. I do think it's a bit of a medium coverage foundation that you can layer up to make a little bit more full coverage, but I never feel like it erases certain features on me. I feel like my freckles kind of still show through, and granted they're not very strong right now because it's not the summer and my skin is paling out for the winter. But it doesn't leave me with completely flat in texture for a face, if you know what I mean. I mean, yeah, sure, I add in bronzer and blush and all that stuff, but it's got a natural finish to it that I really, really like. So this foundation has been an absolute winner for me. And like I said in the beginning, usually after I test a product, I'll put it aside, regardless of whether or not I like it, and then keep cycling through the products that are a little bit older so that I make sure that I'm getting use out of it. So it's very rare for me to go and continue using a product that I've just gotten as much as I have been. So that speaks volumes about how good this product is. Okay, the next product is a little bit interesting for me because I am not a face powder person. I don't powder my face after applying foundation because I just don't feel like it's necessary. I'm not a super oily person. I can get a little bit oily in the summer, but for the most part, I'm dry in the winter, so I really don't see the point in adding a face powder into the mix because generally I feel like face powder just makes me look quite dry. But this was inspired by the fact that my friend Samantha made a comment. I don't know where it was, if it was on a video or on Twitter or something, but she commented on the fact that me applying bronzer over top of liquid foundation without powdering gave her anxiety, and it made me laugh. So I was like, okay, let's try powder again. So for whatever reason, I've held on to this Hourglass ambient lighting powder in the shade Ethereal Light because I paid 50 bucks for it and I was loath to throw it away. I could not bring myself to just throw out a $50 powder, even though I felt like it really did nothing. I mean, this is basically just a white powder in the pan and I'm not convinced that this does anything other than behave as a translucent powder. I wanted this to make me look like beautiful and slightly different, and I don't know how anybody sees a difference in the ambient lighting powders because I see nothing. But I've been using this powder in conjunction with the Synchro Skin and it's been working out really well for me. Now this product on its own works just fine. I don't necessarily need the powder with it, but I found that the powder will increase how long I stay matte. So I've just been trying it out and honestly I kind of just want to finish this product because I spent so much money on it. And I noticed the other day that I hit pan and I was like, oh, I hit pan on a powder? But aside from acting as a translucent powder, I don't feel like this actually does anything different for my face. I don't feel like I look like lit from within or anything like that. But I've been using this up quite a bit, so in my favorites it went. So I've got two blushes to talk about, one that makes sense and the other one doesn't really. But the one that does make sense is this Tarte blush in the shade Natural Beauty. This is a stunning red blush that I always go for in the fall. As soon as the fall hits, I've got this color on my cheeks and then into the winter as well, because this is that beautiful, and we always say this, that just came in from the cold weather look. I don't flush very prettily when I come in from the cold. I'm like splotchy and patchy, but this gives me that look like I wish I looked like when I came in from the cold. It's just that really gorgeous apple cheek color, like that apple red color that, you know, we associate with good health. And this shade does that for me. So it's really bright in the pan, but if you go lightly with it, it does blossom almost. Like you can apply a light layer and it's beautiful. Apply a little bit more and you get a little bit more depth. And I actually think I'm wearing this today. It doesn't necessarily go with my lip color, but I had a red lip color on earlier at work today and it did go with the blush at the time. So if you want an example, that's what it looks like. Okay, as for the blush that doesn't make any sense, it's this Too Faced Papa Don't Peach Blush. And the reason I'm saying this doesn't make any sense is because I want to be wearing kind of like all my red colors, but for whatever reason, I've started going back towards coral. I'm really drawn to coral, so I understand why I'm wearing it, but I also associate coral with spring and summer, so I'm kind of like, okay, you like coral, but go back to your red so that you can get some use out of those products. Anyway, this is a lovely compact. I just think it's adorable. I love the peach emoji that Too Faced came up with for this collection. And the blush, as you would expect, is this peach coral, almost orange shade. It is quite shimmery, so sometimes I can wear this without even remotely needing to wear a highlighter. I mean, sometimes I do layer up a highlighter because I like a lot of glow, but in general, you don't need to wear a highlighter with this color because it is so glowy. And it's honestly almost neutral enough that you can pair it with enough looks that you don't feel like it's gonna clash with them. So I've been going back to this shade way more often than I thought I would, considering that it's November, and I clearly really like it because of that. And of course, there's the smell. I love the smell of the Sweet Peach collection, and in fact I wish that the Peaches and Cream collection smelled the same as this, but it doesn't. But yeah, so love the look of it, love the smell, love the packaging, and I've just been wearing it a heck of a lot throughout November. So recently my Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in Blacker kind of died on me. I had one of those sample sizes from Sephora that I must have gotten like a year and a half ago, and the pencil just, I guess it dried out, but it became not hard and stiff or like gonna crack on you, but it became like goopy stiff, so it would just never transfer to my waterline, which is where I wear that pencil all the time because it is budge proof. So I needed something to go on my lower waterline, and I didn't really have much left in my collection because I'm just not a pencils person. But I had this Maybelline Master Precise Skinny Gel Pencil. So I grabbed for it to put on my waterline thinking, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. And this stuff is great. This is like almost as good as the Marc Jacobs pencil, and I only say almost because I just haven't tested it as much as I've worn the Marc Jacobs one. But I've worn this on my lower waterline and it hasn't really moved throughout like a work day. I mean, I get a little bit of lifting on the outer corner of my lower waterline, which is normal because I mean, that's where you're like, you might like pick at your eye a little bit or your eyes kind of water. But I was really, really impressed at how long this stayed put. It's got a really fine tipped point. I think it's one of those like 1.5 millimeter pencil tips, and it makes for really precise application. This stuff glides on so smoothly, so softly, and you never feel like you're tugging, which is great because you do not want to be tugging at your lower waterline. I do need to point out though that this does not retract. So as soon as you push that up, there's no going back. You cannot pull it back down. So that's just something to be aware of. But you know, this is a drugstore pencil that is comparable to a very high-end pencil, so I just wanted to point it out because this thing is really good. I do need to try it out a little bit longer to see if it is as long wearing as the Marc Jacobs one, but man, this is a good dupe for now because this has been great to me. And the very last item I'm going to talk about are these Stila liquid glitters. I love these so much and I've been wearing them like crazy. I have, I think, like 6 shades at this point, but the 3 colors that I've been wearing the most are Kitten Karma, which is kind of, I guess you would call it like a creme brulee shade. It's like a beige, but you know, sparkly. And then Diamond Dust, which is just this unbelievable silver glitter, but it reflects different colors. Like you can see blue, green, purple, depending on how the light hits it. Absolutely my favorite Stila glitter. And then the other one, which is slightly more subtle and not as shimmery, is this Rose Gold Retro, which is just more of a copper tone. Again, less glitter sparkle in it, but it makes it a little bit easier to wear if you're somebody who's not super into glitter. which I am into glitter, but you know, I need some variety every now and then. So I love these so much. I've been asked about how I wear them, and I do apply primer to my lids first. I have to. I'm somebody who creases at everything, so I always have to double prime my eyelids no matter what. But something that's usually a liquid or a cream, even double priming won't work. Like, that stuff will still crease on me. These will not crease on me. So I'm so happy that it's this easy liquid glitter application and it doesn't crease on me. I mean, that just like makes my day. I do also really like the applicator that's in here. I think it works the best out of everything that I've tried. I've tried a brush, I've tried my finger. Those don't work out that well. The applicator in here is fantastic. You can get full opaque coverage in one swipe of these, so I think that's amazing. And I know they're pricey. They're like 31 Canadian each, but they are worth the price tag. There's no muss, there's no fuss with like loose glitter pigment flying everywhere when you're applying it. So if you've been curious about glitter and you're shy about it and you don't really know what to go for, try these out. They are the easiest thing that I have tried in glitter in the makeup world. Whew, okay, that was a lot of products to talk about. I really didn't think I had much to discuss for November favorites, but apparently there was quite a few in there. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!